Hello everyone, this is me Abdul Noman, and in this video we are going to continue learning about local unit testing. Now in my previous video I explained what exactly is local unit testing, and I also explained when we should use local unit testing, and that is local unit testing is important because of TDD, which is test driven development. Now in this video we are going to see exactly how do we do local unit testing. So let's start. See, when you start your activity, and when you start any activity, your Android Studio automatically creates three projects, three sources for you: this one, this one, and this one. And the local unit testing is done in this section here. And in the beginning, Android Studio will create a example unit test for you here. But if you want to create a new file here, in that case you should right click, go to here and create a normal Java class, just a generic Java class, and you should name it. And the naming convention is something like this. Let's say your activity name is calculator. Okay, then you should name your Android application something like then you should name your testing class something like calculator, and then you should append the word test. Okay, and in our case it's activity main, so let's just do that, activity main, and then we should write it like test. Now it's not a necessity, but it's a writing convention, and then you just press OK, and a new class is created for you. And in this class, with some modifications in this class, we can use this class as a testing class. All right, and we can do this testing in these cases. All right, so that's about that. Now what are these modifications that I'm talking about? Let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about. You see, let's go to the other project, which is this one, and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. You see, if you look at these files here, all of these, this is called an annotation. This is an annotation, this is an annotation, this before is an annotation, this at the right test is an annotation. There are some other annotations, right? There are small in this case it could be a small, medium, or large test. So three different annotations there for three different size of tests. And then these are something else. I will be talking about these things. Now in order to use a class, in order to use one of these class as a testing class, you don't have to do you don't have to do anything much. You just have to name it like a normal class, and then inside that you add testing methods, and that's all you have to do. You have to add testing methods. Now how do you how do you create a testing method? Well, in order to create a testing method, it will be like just like any other method, like as you can see, with one exception, which is it will have this annotation called test. Until unless this annotation test is not here, it's not going to be counted as a testing method. All right, so that's about that. And then this annotation before here, this is something else. It actually is the setup method. For example, you have a class here, different class, and you want to test something from this class. So you want to access the methods that you have in this class, right? In this class you have certain methods, like this is one method, this is another method, and you want to access this method, right? Now in order to access that method and then test that method, you need to do some preparation in the beginning, right? Before you test the method, you need some preparation. Now inside this before setup method, now this name can be anything actually, but setup, you should name it setup because that's the convention, that's what everybody does. But you don't, it's not necessity. But what is the necessity? Which is this annotation here, which is at the right before. And here with the use of at the right before, you make it a setup method. All right, now there is this another method afterwards that we are going to be learning about in this video later on, that is called the after method. All right, this is before, where you make the setup, and inside the after method, or inside the actually tear down is the method. But with that tear down method, there will be something here inside this one we have tested, and the testing is done, and that method is going to be is going to take away all the resources that you are using, because you are using actually a certain number of resources in these cases, and this takes certain kind of memory and power, so it actually takes that away so that your app can run smoothly. Now another thing that I want to mention at this point here is this: when your Android application is actually in the production level, when you are actually producing or creating it, that's when these files will be here. But when you actually publish it, or when you actually start using it, these files will not be here. These will be deprecated, or you will delete these files. All right, so that's about that. Now let me clarify what I'm saying here. In order to create a testing local unit class, you just have to create a normal Java class here, and then you have to create some testing methods, which is this one. Now in case you have to do some kind of preparation, like create an object of some other class, or start some initialization, in that case there is this method called setup, which use the annotation called before. And if you are not clear about annotation, then I am probably going to give you a link of a YouTube tutorial that is going to help you understand what is annotation, and just search the description below. And by the way, if you can't, I will give you a annotation, and also I will also give you some other links also in this video, and you will see exactly what they are. Anyway, so this is the setup method. Now in order to run your Android application, in this testing mode, what you should do is here, come here, right click, and here you have this option, run calculator test 2. Okay, or you have to come here, and the same options are here, and you can just run it. Okay, and in this case in this method there are actually two testing methods, as you can see. And if every testing method is correct, now I will show you exactly how to use these testing methods, and exactly what we are doing, that's a different thing. But let me clarify here at this point that this section, this window, this pane will appear when you run this. And when it comes here, what you can do is this. As you can see, all of these green buttons are here because all of these classes, these tests are passed, because what we are expecting is the correct thing that's happened. Now if any of these tests, even if one of these tests is somehow wrong, then it will not give you a green bar, a green progress bar. It will give you something else, which is like this. Not that one, my mistake, this one. You see, I just changed this add to numbers value something here, and right now this is not correct. Okay, this is not this test doesn't apply, because we are expecting 4, we are supposed to get 4, but we are actually getting 6. So in that case, it will not give you a green progress bar. Also it will give you exactly what's wrong with it. You see, we are expecting 4, which is this, but we are actually getting 6 which is that. So when you press that one, in this case, you can see that the expected result and the actual result. And even if one test is not passed, it will not give you a green product, and it will show you exactly in which method you have a problem there. All right, so that's about that.